1847. A powerful king from coastal Karnataka, despite having a grand kingdom and a loving family, feels restless. Seeking spiritual peace, he embarks on a journey and discovers a sacred stone in a dense forest, protected by Panjali, a divine spirit safeguarding the villagers. The king, in exchange for taking the stone, grants the villagers a vast portion of his land. However, Panjali, through a possessed medium, warns him that his descendants must never reclaim the land, or they will face the wrath of Guliga, a fierce guardian deity. 1970. A descendant of the king attempts to reclaim the land and approaches a Butakola performer, possessed by Panjali, to convince the villagers to surrender it. The performer refuses and warns that if the case is taken to court, the deity will deliver judgment there. Doubting the possession, the descendant questions the performer, who claims that if he is truly possessed, he will vanish. The performer then runs into the forest and mysteriously disappears. Months later, just as foretold, the descendant dies under mysterious circumstances on the courthouse steps while fighting for the land's custody. 1990. Murali, a determined forest officer, is assigned the task of converting the village's land into a government-protected forest reserve. However, he faces strong opposition from Shiva, a fierce Kambala athlete and the son of the missing performer. Shiva is backed by his patron, Devendra Satoru, the king's descendant, who secretly aims to seize the land. The villagers urge Shiva to perform the Butakola ritual, but he refuses due to his trauma over his father's disappearance. Instead, his cousin Garuva steps in. Murali and his team begin fencing off the land, leading to conflicts between the villagers and authorities. In the midst of this, Shiva rekindles his love with Leela, a childhood friend who has become a forest guard. However, when she is forced to act against the villagers under government orders, a rift develops between them. As tensions escalate, Murali attempts to arrest Shiva, but in an unexpected accident, Murali's jeep is crushed by a falling tree, leaving him badly injured. Shiva and his friends go into hiding but secretly return to visit their families. The next morning, they are captured by the police. Garuva seeks Devendra's help to bail Shiva out, but Devendra reveals his real plan to manipulate the Butakola ritual and deceive the villagers into surrendering their land. When Garuva refuses to comply, Devendra kills him. Believing Murali to be Garuva's killer, a furious Shiva sets out for revenge. However, he soon discovers from a friend that it was actually Devendra who murdered Garuva. Before Shiva can react, Devendra's men drug and attack him, but he fights back and manages to escape. Meanwhile, Murali exposes Devendra's real intentions to the villagers. Shiva, now aware of the truth, stands with Murali and the villagers against Devendra and his men, leading to a brutal battle. Outnumbered and nearly defeated, Shiva smashes his head against the sacred stone of Panjali. In that moment, he is possessed by Guliga, the fearsome guardian spirit, gaining supernatural strength to annihilate Devendra and his men. Months later, Shiva finally embraces his destiny and performs the Butakola, becoming possessed by Panjali. In a moment of unity, he, Murali, and the villagers come together. After the ritual, Shiva mysteriously vanishes into the forest, seemingly guided by the spirit of his long-lost father.